survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even try, you can't stop. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local right here at 4 o'clock on a beautiful Monday here in Panama City Beach. We're so glad to have you joining us here. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7Ts phone line. Red 7Ts, your spot for all things custom apparel. And I'm excited. As always, on a Monday, we got Coach Brian Haddad in the building. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm good. I didn't make the wrap, but I'm good. I guess that's what happens when you only come in one day.
One day, yeah.
Part-timers.
The part-timers kind of get left out at times. But you know what? We might have a remix coming very soon.
I don't know. It'd be a diss track if he talked to me. So
that's great. But
well, he needs to have it. He needs to have it popping.
Yeah, because Jeff's got it popping. So Jeffrey, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. College basketball is hopefully the main event now.
It is, but it's
got
not.
The March Madness.
It is, but it's not.
You've got to be mad.
Not
Come on,
yet.
Paul.
We're not mad yet. We're close. We're getting very close. It's going to get closer as we get into the tournaments of this week coming up. So this week being Wednesday and Thursday. So listen out for your programming because we're going to be cutting some things short and going to be running into some of the games. So it's going to be an awesome time. You're going to be able to hear. The thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to not let Jeff, Brian, Bone Crusher, myself, and all the other people lose out on the week for a blowout game. So all our games are going to be legit coming up. So it's going to be pretty awesome, and I'm excited about it. But we've got to talk about it. We did spend a lot of time on Friday talking about it. Brian, you wasn't here. I'm curious to see what you think. Had a lot of people messaging over the weekend and even into the night on Friday night, based off of the meeting that they had at the White House.
Oh, God.
And it is a definite thing that's going to need to be talked about and definitely going to be a part of it. The last statement is that President Trump is planning to sign an executive order to return college sports to the pre-NIL era somewhat. I don't think it's going to be, what everybody thinks it is. It could be, but I don't think it's going to be all the way back. And I know that there's two sides to it. A lot of people like it. A lot of people don't. And Brian, as far as what you see, because a lot of people were getting aggravated with some of the people that were there. You had the Yankees GM there. You had Adam Silver there. You had some billionaires there. You had some congressmen, some senators, as well as Saban and Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow and Tiger Woods and people that played college ball or in college ball. A lot of rumors, a lot of things that wasn't necessarily true, but there's some spots that's going forward that they're going to move on. So what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
The line that came to me when you're reading all the people out, and not all of these are bad-looking people, but Rush Limbaugh had the greatest line I've ever heard, which was, politics is show business for the ugly.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of what it is. A lot of that was a show, which is fine. We all know that going in. Here's the only issue I really have. I love the fact that they're looking at it. I love the fact that people are trying. Here's the issue, though. To say, and I know rhetoric and this, that, or the other, this isn't political, because lean to that side of the aisle, certainly. But saying you're going to return this to the pre-NIL era, that's not realistic. You can't.
No.
You can't. When the money got so big in college sports, it was simply a matter of time before it hit the courts, and these people have a right in our country to monetize their name, image, and likeness instead of the other. It's honestly, as much as I would like college sports to be the way it was, legally it had to go that way.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is manage the new rules. Saying you're going to go back to this is not realistic. You can't. In fact, you really can't do much with the NIL in and of itself. What you can do is you have centralized control over the athlete disbursements, which that's a piece of this, and they actually have some control now. What also can be done is you can do some reining into the transfer portal. Now, if he had said, we're going to take care of this, that's the thing. I think a lot of people think there are issues with the NIL. It's really not. It's with the NIL in a complete unrestricted free agency market. So the portal is where I would focus my issues and things like that. But legally to say we're going to go back to the pre-NIL era, you can't. There's nothing he can do. You can sign a piece of paper and it looks great and it's good for a show and everybody feels good, but the reality is it's not going to change anything on that front. We're already past that. So I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of stock into that because I know the grim realities of it, dealing with, like, some of my clients are the universities in the South and things like that. So it's I mean, I'm trying to not be so pessimistic. But, you know, you're just not going to be able to do that. Unfortunately, the only way to truly fix this at this point, with the way that our laws and legal system and the fact that we have 50 different state laws, this, that, or the other, the only way it's going to work, we already have the model.
Yes.
It's the NFL, it's the
NFL.
MLB, the NBA. You're going to have to allow them to be employees, you're going to have to allow them to collectively bargain, and you're going to have to be able to get an antitrust exemption. That's the only way to fix everything the way you want to do it. Short of that, you need to rein in the transfer portal the best you can, and that's about all you can do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when I went home and listened to them and changed it over to check it out, there was some of this talk going on about antitrust and how we got to reel it in and those things. The good thing that I saw was that the commissioners of the conferences were there. And that, to me, is the big deal. Like, having NCAA there, having the Big Ten and the SEC and some of these others there, that helps moving forward. Has your mind changed? Did you watch any of it? Do you think any of that? Because it's not necessarily the product that's showing, but it's the possibility of what could spin out of it to the people that actually can change it, which is the conferences, the universities, the NCAA. Now that it's on a national stage and they're having stuff like this spoken, now is where I think yes, this whole thing show. Yes, this whole thing a big deal to get people roused up, and it worked. Now is the fact is, are they going to take that and Sankey and the Big Ten commissioner and the ACC commissioner and the NCAA Baker, are they going to all get together now and say, look, we don't want all of these people to have say over our deal. Let's get together and figure out our deal. Now we can move forward. Did it change for you any over the weekend?
Not really.
No. You still don't have any confidence that it's going to be changed. You think it's just going to run amok like it's going right now?
Yeah, I don't think they really can't agree. If they are going to agree politically, there's got to be a law. There's going to be money involved. It's not going to be pretty. Then there's the legality of it just ending back up in the courts.
Yeah, and that's
what politics is.
And that's where we don't want it to go. That's that was my whole passionate part about it. But it's going to have to touch the courts to get it in so that it can be set up for the future run. So that's my biggest thing is like that's my agreement with Brian, is that hey, I'm glad somebody's looking, doing, and now can it be something else to where it's now going to take on its own thing with the powers that be so that we can move into the right direction?
But it can't go back to 2020.
No.
No, it can't.
I remember the good old days when we didn't pay people.
But
Right.
But
it was never that anyway.
But Paul kind of hit on it where we were talking about it's about feelings. It's the old line: you campaign in poetry and you govern in prose. You know, you want the florid, emotional, tug at your heartstring. Remember when things were great. That's what you do out campaigning, and you do the show things and stuff like that. And it does make people feel better, and that's a valid thing. But at the end of the day, to actually create the infrastructure and framework that you need to rein this in, it's really technical, really boring, really ugly, really sausage making. And, you know, that's not the kind of stuff that's going to excite people. So you go out there, you put these things together for show, and it does get people feeling better. And maybe they, you know, relax a little bit emotionally. But in reality, what you're going to have to do behind the scenes is very, very technical and is not the kind of thing that gets people excited, because there are some legal reasons why you can't do some of the stuff.
So Trump was almost in the center of the room, but the man that was in the center of the room was Nick Saban. All right, so let me ask y'all that question. For Saban to be interviewed and talked to, he says he doesn't really want that job. But anytime something is brought up, he's the one that's brought in to be the main spokesperson. He spoke right after Trump. Trump just gave an opening of who all's there. Then boom, we're pushing it to Saban. And it's like, are they going to make Saban the commissioner? Are they not? Is he going to do this? Is he not? Is ESPN going to allow him to do this? Is he not? Like, for somebody that says they don't want it, he sure is involved in everything, and they all want him to do it. It seems like everybody's pushing him up the mountain to say, take the job, take the job, take the job, and there's not a job.
The reason I don't think, well, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why I don't think Saban will do it. I think he enjoys what he's doing right now. It's a big one. But I think the real reason he won't do it is because if Nick Saban were going to take that job, he would have to know he has the ability to get it exactly where he wants it. And where he wants it is something that I don't think is attainable. And I think he's smart enough to know that. I think that's why he's pushing this off. Unfortunately, you need people. I will say this about the show. They had a good cross-section of voices that a lot of people are like, well, why is Ron DeSantis in there? Well, as the governor of a large state with a lot of universities, he has, you know, and a lot of them are public universities, he has a very unique kind of coverage of that. So I think a lot of that stuff was actually good to hear different perspectives go deep into the details. But I think what you're going to need in that position is somebody maybe in a weird way who hasn't been tainted by years of experience in the old system. You know, normally you would always want the most experienced people, but you need to come at this slightly different. So you need someone who understands athletic departments, you know, State Board of Education, different things that are in there now, but who hasn't been tainted with, I'm trying to take us back to 1993. Because you can't go there. So someone who has an idea of, well, look, these are the adaptations we've made. Let's go forward with that.
You want a lawyer in charge.
No, I don't.
I know you don't.
No, because they're shiesty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Easy for all of us. We have lawyers
We
that
are
listen.
not sponsored by a lawyer right
Not
now.
yet.
Well, and we're
so
certainly
if you
not
want
now.
to be,
Not yet. And
you'll be our exception to the rule. But let me ask you a question. Will there ever be a salary cap for college sports?
I don't know, because like we said on Friday, the NFL seems to work there, but Major League Baseball doesn't necessarily have the same deal.
Well,
and they might.
Technically, they do. Because the revenue share part is a cap.
It is.
What the NIL is not technically through the university, is not technically salary.
That's true.
Again,
They do.
it's a big technicality.
Yeah.
It's a real, yes, dicey.
What I have a problem with is bankrupting a university because of budgets and everything, and you have so much money coming in, you know, you have your revenue, you have your earnings, and then just going completely in the red like California, Berkeley is doing, you know. And now there's one up on the East Coast, I think, that's really in the red.
There's a lot that are.
That is not good. This is not a good situation.
But that's
they
why
can't bankrupt themselves just for a reputation in sports, really.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing with putting the names on the jerseys now and having the sponsorships come along, the businesses are going to start stepping in and giving the money. But what does that do, though, to that university? It gives now those businesses a door into the university so they can have some say in some of their stuff that goes on at the schools now. Because when you're getting big time bucks from Tyson Foods or Raising Cane's or whoever we talked about, that's where they're going to be able to come in and move the needle to where they want it. And then you're going to have yourself in another pickle too, because you're going to have, all these different people.
So that's
talking.
where the colleges are getting in trouble, though.
Yes.
And it's because there's only so many people you can mine for money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So general giving to the university, building funds, the building of athletic facilities, all this stuff, you're going to all the same people. So now if you're having to shift these people to give 40, 50 million a year, whatever Brian Kelly said LSU's roster was going to cost and whatever.
A lot.
I don't think he's wrong. But let's say you're going to have to do that. You're going to the same people who have been giving to the general university fund, who have been giving to the buildings.
That's right.
And all of that. And if that money starts siphoning out of there and just into paying athletes like that, these other areas are struggling. And, you're going to start to see some issues with that. You're already seeing it at the D2, D3 level. It has very little to do with college football, obviously, but you're seeing it, and you are seeing schools fold, and that's only going to continue to grow at the higher end. And what's happening is states that have budgets that are stressed like that, they're not going to come in and save them.
No, and that's the thing, that the states are going to feel the pressure of trying to feel like they've got to be the ones to come in and write the checks. And then when they start trying to do that, then you're going to be talking about people being mad about tax dollars, and you're going to have a whole nother ballgame to have to fight.
You think Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, is going to bail out LSU because you've overspent? Because the football program makes more than $50 million after expenses, so that's pure revenue on football alone. But the problem is they're paying for all these other
everything
sports.
Else.
And I'm not pointing at women's sports, because it's all the sports.
All the Olympic sports.
It's men's too.
100%.
There's probably 3 programs in LSU, which is actually better than the national average.
100%.
Far.
Yeah.
And think about it. Alabama,
they only had 2.
They had basketball.
They had basketball and football, and that's it.
Mississippi State doesn't have but 1.
Baseball makes, I've looked at the budgets back in the 90s and now. Actually, football makes money almost everywhere. Basketball makes money almost everywhere. Not quite as high a percentage as football. Well, their expenses aren't as bad as football. But baseball, so even in the 90s, Mississippi State was huge, barely turned money. LSU turned money, but there were probably, at that time, less than 10% of the baseball programs in the country that profited. And it's probably a little higher now, but not by much. Outside of that, you might have less than 5 college softball programs that'll make money and less than 5 women's college basketball programs that'll make money. Outside of that, everything is in the red. That's the nature of it. But it's why we said from the beginning, the Olympic sports and women's sports, if it takes out of Title IX, but Olympic sports are going to suffer in this because they are net negatives for athletic departments.
I think there's actually going to be less sports offered at universities, scholarship-wise, because of Title IX. It's like it ties your hands that, you're going to have 7 guy sports and then 7 women's sports.
And to be honest, that's the biggest problem they face with making them employees. Because if you do that, Title IX no longer applies in terms of scholarship allocation. That will crush women's sports.
Yeah, it'll kill it.
Right now, football being there funds about 6 women's sports. Just having to have them. Yeah. Because you don't have those kind of numbers in any women's sport. I mean, the biggest rosters you maybe carry 25 in a women's sport. I mean, you're carrying like 6 women's sports just by Title IX scholarship allocation. If they move them out to employees and Title IX no longer applies, that has its own cascading set of issues.
So what's interesting is, and I blew your mind up last week when I mentioned that, they weren't getting paid before, but they got free housing. Yeah. They got free food. But they got, I don't want to say clothes for work, basically. If you're talking about football jerseys and everything, what was the other thing? Oh, free college education.
Yeah.
Best health care.
What if they take away all that money and they say, okay, your employees, this is what you're getting paid per game? and then that's it. And you've got to pay for your own school. You got to pay for your own food. You've got to pay for your own housing. These kids are going to learn how to budget works real quick.
And the thing is like the clothing that you're talking about. And now, though, that they can go out and get their own sponsorships, it doesn't stop them from having a car dealership to come over and say, hey, you're going to have this car. It's yours. You're going to lease it while you're here, and you're not going to have to worry about it. Then all you got to do is do a commercial for us or a gas station. Hey, you want to have all of your gas paid for your vehicle. You just got to do a commercial for us and let us put you on the billboard. That kind of stuff. That's where it's going to really get out. And then what's going to happen is it's just going to be having a lot of people in their hands in the pockets. Let me ask you this, kind of getting back to what we talked about before we have to go to our first break. When you look at what they're talking about, though, a lot of chatter online is like you're asking people like Saban, people like Urban Meyer, these questions about, and then you got someone like Trump saying the bold statement of, I'm going to take it back to what it used to be. Well, there's a lot of people saying, well, those guys used to pay players behind under the table regardless. So what are we going back to? You know what I mean? So now you've got that can of worms opening up. So I'm just surprised. And tell me a real quick response. If y'all are surprised that, like, nobody called Jimbo Fisher to ask him to be in the room, because he was the one that said, if you want to know if Saban was paying players, I can tell you when Saban was paying players and all of those people. So what do y'all think about that part, just real quick? I mean, that's really the thing.
It's pointless to go down that road. By the way, just because we're in NIL, there's still people getting paid under the table illegally. That hasn't ended. That's always looking to get an edge. I thought he had the right voices in the room to get here are the problems I see, this, that, or the other. I thought Saban had great points about creating long-term value for people in their life and things. I thought you heard the right things, but you're going to need a different batch of people, in my mind, to then come up with a new framework, implementing those thoughts into new ideas going forward.
You're still not buying it, though, right?
I'm not sure how the changes can even happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And you're not even trying to be pessimistic. You're just saying you just don't see how it can.
It's reality.
It's just hard.
I mean, I don't want to say put me in charge. I really think that I could fix a lot of things.
Commissioner Jeff.
All right.
But there's always a legality to everything.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get sued.
Well, and then you'll depend on lawyers.
And then I'll need a lawyer.
That's right. And you'll have to wear a sweater vest all the time.
Sweater vest.
So either way, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Steve Barnes. We got to find out if Trinidad Chambliss is going to play college football next year. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Anna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday afternoon. The remainder of the day, some sun and 75 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. For tonight, a mixture of slight fog and mostly clouds and a low near 68. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 76. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve. deserve.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community. And advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
His major in college?
We're going streaking through the quad!
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Come on, everybody, we're going!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here we go!
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for SEC, ACC tournaments coming up this week. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be. 850-215-6290. The Red 17s phone line is a great place for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. Got Jeffrey here, got Brian here, Bone Crusher's here. And on the line, we got Steve Barnes from the RebelWalk.com. Steve, how you doing today, my friend?
Literally just wrapped up my postseason duties, or post-game duties, after the women's championship game of the Sun Belt tournament over here in Pensacola. James Madison's going to the tournament.
All right. No knockouts, right?
No, not this one.
No punches, no knockouts, no.
JMU wins at 69-52.
Yeah.
So they
Blowout.
will be, everybody, all the, they got also 11-0 start the game. You know, it's kind of a blowout. But all the brass here with the Sun Belt, they're pretty sure only one team's going to get in the NCAA.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the tournament champion. So that's JMU. So they knocked off Troy. And that sort of, leaves two or three teams looking for probably the WBIT tournament, which is really replace the NIT, because that's now just pay to play. If you can get in tournaments, you got to pay your own way.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, James Madison took advantage of the format in this tournament that for both men and women. The 1 and 2 seeds, they got buys all the way to the semifinal game.
Mm-hmm.
So Georgia Southern was 1, Troy was 2. They didn't play for 8 days from their last regular season game now. JMU got to play Saturday against a really low-seeded team, beat up them, then had number 1 Georgia Southern Sunday, beat them. And today,
No, they smoked them. They killed them, slaughtered them. There's nothing left of Georgia Southern.
Yeah, Georgia Southern, I don't even know if they, I don't know.
They didn't show up.
The Nets are still there.
I don't think it was make them.
They still went 23-8.
Yeah.
Let me say this too about. Let me say this about that. Over here we've got Gulf Coast men's basketball, and with them, they almost during the season only play 2 games a week, and they usually get a 4-game or a 4-day off day, and so for them, they're having to wait as well. And it seems like with that, because they're the number 2, so they get a bye for the first, and then it's just a lot of sitting around waiting. And he said that they have to go and do some nice scrimmaging, but it does help with the healing process. So that's one of the things I know for them. They get to do that. How does JMU feel like being the? They're pretty much the rulers of the Sun Belt. I haven't checked their baseball out, but it looks like JMU for football is going to, they went to the playoff. Now you got the women. The men play later, and if they win, then JMU's, we're going to change it to the JMU's conference, not Sun Belt.
Well, baseball, they're mid. Yeah.
So the first year they were in the tournament, they won the championship in football, men's basketball, volleyball, softball.
Wow.
It's a really good athletic department up there.
Yep, it's a great deal.
And now tonight at 6 on ESPN2, number 1 Troy plays number 10 Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern has won 5 straight games in 5 days.
Nice.
They beat number 11 Old Dominion on Wednesday, Arkansas State, who was 7th, on Thursday, number 6 South Alabama on Friday, number 3 Coastal Carolina on Saturday, and yesterday beat number 2 Marshall. So they're on a roll, but I'm just wondering, are they going to hit a wall?
Yes, they are. They're going to hit it tonight at 7 o'clock. You'll see it, and you'll tell, and they'll say a great run, and Troy will win that. I'll bet it.
And Troy only played 1 game. They played yesterday. They beat Southern Mississippi. Now, they really had a big lead, and they just sort of coasted. They only won 78-70, but Southern Miss just lost complete composure in the second half. Stupid fouls, throwing the ball away, got a tech for cussing at the referee. And that's when Troy just sort of, okay, let's just pull back and get out of this thing before they start something.
You know what I'm curious?
And we already had that here, so we don't need any more.
What I'm curious about, Steve, and you and I talked a little bit earlier today, but in football, we've heard it. In the 2 years that the playoffs been in this format, the teams that got the byes are 1-7. We're seeing this across the basketball where they're getting these long byes. And basketball, more than any other sport, it just seems like it's momentum and getting on a roll and everything like that. Like the only thing where I think it might be advantageous to get a bye is baseball, where you can rest pitcher arms when you have some limited ones. But I guess my question to you is, are any coaches starting to talk about this, bring this up, that they maybe want to see a bit of a shift in that, they don't want 8 days off, or with football, 21 days off or whatever?
Well, that's what JMU was saying. It's like, we didn't want to be a 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah.
And they could have been. But why would you want that?
Yeah.
And Troy didn't even travel until Saturday afternoon. And like I said, Georgia Southern, they've been here all week long. And, these kids are like, yeah, I'm putting down roots here, man. And they just love it. And you're all going to love this. They're led by a guard, and I'm not kidding you, his name, Spud Webb.
Oh, that's great.
There we go.
He is not related.
And he's not 5'6".
No, he's 6. They list him at 6'4", but I was in the elevator with him. He's about 6'2". Well,
yeah, that's right.
The best one this week, Louisiana Monroe's women, their best player was a guard, and they list her at 5'5". If she's 5'5", then I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
But what I loved is Monroe used her for the opening tap.
Nice. There we go.
The other player didn't even jump. And I asked the coach, we're going heading over to the presser, and I was like, Coach, what do you do that for, psychological? He goes, nah, it's kind of like deferring the kick in football. I just want to make sure I get the possession there when it starts.
Yeah, interesting.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. He's lying. Come on, he's from Louisiana.
Not bad.
He's from Louisiana. He can tell some stories.
Yeah, they all lie. From Louisiana.
Steve, well, yeah. I know about the politics, at least. Steve, let me ask you a question. When Appalachian State joined the conference, they didn't totally take over, right? But they did well. James Madison is doing another level of that.
Yeah, they're dominant.
We know there's no chance of Louisiana Tech doing that, joining the conference next year, right?
No. Not unless they got Karl Malone coming back.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't really talked to the officials here, and they've been, I tell you what, the conference officials here have been very, very open. I got to sit down with Keith Gill, the commissioner, for a while. He's going to be, he's in charge of the NCAA tournament committee, and he'll talk to you. And, you know, he's just like, well, you know, you can bring a lot of teams in here, but we're still pretty good. Sunbelt loses Texas State this year. Texas State came in here, and they were not good. And everybody's saying the same thing. Well, you can't even make the weekend of the Sunbelt. Have fun in the Pac-12 next year.
Yeah.
Have fun at Wazoo and Oregon State, but that's a money thing for them. So, you know, Keith Gill, the best thing he said, I just said, one of the greatest quotes I've ever gotten from somebody. I said, when you're in the committee and they talk about a Sunbelt team, do you have to recuse yourself? And he said, well, if I didn't have to, I would anyway. I want that guy on that committee.
Yeah.
I want him on the football committee.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of football, you know, obviously we saw on Friday the NCAA come back out, and they're still trying to save face with this whole Trinidad Chambliss thing. And obviously, it's made a lot of things go on. We got like what we talked about before you came on was the White House deal that they had over the weekend or on Friday. Have you heard anything? I know you've been covering a lot of basketball, but have you heard anything from any side besides the chiclets comment by the lawyer from Trinidad?
I think it's pretty apparent what's going on. And one guy I talked to said, yeah, you know, their sort of underlining gripe is, well, the judge was from Mississippi. So you're going to go to the Mississippi Supreme Court. Where are they from? Exactly. There are seven justices. 5 graduated from Ole Miss Law. 1 graduated from Mississippi College, and the other graduated from Texas Southern Law School, but he's got an Ole Miss undergrad.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, they messed up when they didn't call any witnesses over in Pittsburgh. They messed up when they didn't even stick around for the verdict. They messed up when they didn't cross-examine 2 witnesses. Yeah, we know we're wrong, we're going to lose. What they're doing is they're trying to lay the groundwork to go to Congress and say, we need antitrust laws.
Yeah, and see, that's what I think. I think that's what they're doing too. I think with all of this that they're doing right now that's what we were talking about earlier. I think that's what they're going to do. As far as that White House thing, I'm sorry, but don't they have enough stuff to work on right now instead of screwing up college football even more? And they didn't even invite anybody from the NCAA to that thing. Well, the president was there. The Barker was there. He was there. The SEC chairman, Sankey, he was there, and some of the others. See, I'm in a disagreement with you on that one. I think that if this kind of gets us to the place to where we can get something done, because obviously the way it's sitting right now, it's not working for the way it's set up with the courts. And
yeah, but you're not going to do it out of Washington. They can't pass a budget. They keep shutting down the government. They're not good at governing this stuff. What they need to do is the 2 commissioners from the SEC and the Big Ten, they're going to have an agreement. But they can't agree on how many teams should be in a playoff. It's just one of those, marking your territory type things. And the big dog that want to, say I'm not the big dog. So the SEC, I want 16 teams. Big Ten comes, I want 24. They don't want 24 teams. That's way too many. 16 I'm fine with. That way you get rid of the 4 byes and you have 8 on-campus games. That's fine. Do that. But that's as big as you need to go. It's some people, it's in the NCAA, it's in government. I don't care where you are. Some people just like to argue. Even if they agree with you, they're going to take the other side just to argue.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, with that, I was glad when I saw both Sankey and the Big Ten commissioner there, and I was hoping that this is going to spurn out and say, hey, look, you guys got to figure this out. Y'all take care of it, and that would be the definite fix. And hopefully, because I hate the whole mindset of, again, Trinidad Chambliss part, Joey Aguilar. We still got the quarterback at Virginia. He's in the courts trying to vie for another year, and we still don't have resolution. The NCAA is trying to do all that.
But all these cases are different.
That's right.
It's not like it's one size fits all. They're all different.
Yeah.
I mean, Aguilar wanted to do what Pavia did. Hey, junior college doesn't count. Ferris State's already admitted, we just didn't file the paperwork. We told him he had it, They said when he won the national championship at Ferris, during the broadcast, the ESPN guys, who, by the way, were sanctioned by the NCAA, they said he had a medical red shirt. NCAA didn't say anything then.
Exactly.
So, but that's different. It's like the Bediako thing. That's different. And, that one, there was no chance that was going to win, because if it did, think about it. LeBron James never played college basketball. He's got eligibility. His best friend from Akron growing up is now the head coach at Duquesne. Hey, LeBron, you want to come play a season with us?
Exactly.
Well, they just need to set a rule and just no exceptions. You have 6 years. That's all you get. There's no exceptions, no medical, no red shirt, no nothing. Brian even says 5 years.
I'm with you. 5 years gets you 5 or 4 or 3 or whatever, but no exceptions, no medical, no anything. You get 5 years. If you're lucky and you play 5, good for you. But that's it. That's what I would do.
The other argument people are going to come up with against the NCAA, this kid can't have another year. It's going to be year 7. They just granted the kid year 9.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just too much. But Steve, we're bumped against a break. We appreciate you, man.
I'm bumped up against supper before I have to start the men's show.
Yep. So let us know that bloodbath. I'm sure you'll text me. Text me the score to the bloodbath, and I'll announce it tomorrow.
You got it, buddy.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Steve Barnes from RebelWalk.com. When we come back, we are going to dive into the NFL free agent market. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. SEC champion Florida Gators are playing hot down the stretch.
Plan for an open 3. Bang, got it. What a start here for Florida.
And are poised to defend their national championship.
For a game winner, a 3-ball, yes, it's good.
Listen live on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida for every big game, every dunk, and every step of the title defense. The home of Florida Gator basketball on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for all things college basketball. Don't forget Auburn at 1:30 right here. Tip off 2 o'clock. This is on Wednesday, and then ACC second round doubleheader coverage starts at around 5:30. We will let you know if it's somebody that's not playing very good that you don't want to hear, and you want to hear Jeffrey instead. We'll figure it out. But either way, we'll let you know the schedule coming up very soon. Guys, we got to talk about it. We've got a huge amount of free agent NFL news.
Nothing's happened today.
Big time. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We're going to give Big Nate the first opportunity of the show. That's how much we value his opinion. We're going to let him start us out on this free agency going on in the NFL. Big Nate, are you there with me today, buddy? I guess he's not.
He couldn't handle.
He could not do it. I guess not. Are you there?
We got Paul in stereo here.
Nope. So either way, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. The biggest one for Jeffrey, and I guess for this area, has got to be Tua Tagovailoa has signed a free agent deal with the Atlanta Falcons. So he is going to go in and possibly compete with Michael Penix Jr. So now I believe that the Atlanta Falcons are the only NFL team with two left-handed quarterbacks. So there we go.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's a bad idea if you have a lefty to have them all be lefty, because a lot of receivers say it is different.
It's different.
You have to adjust with the way the ball spins. So probably not bad if you have one to have two or three. So.
Yes or no? Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback on game number 1. Jeffrey, you go first.
Yes, he is.
I think they're still, well, I don't know. It depends how he comes back from the injury. But let's assume everything with rehab goes right. I still think they start Penix instead of Tua.
They still go Penix. Okay. I think it depends on where Penix is with his recovery. Obviously, with having Drake London there, Bijan Robinson there, Tua's in a good situation because Penix has been iffy at times, and with the injury deal, I don't think he's going to be so far ahead. I think Tua can really probably come in and take over that job.
He had better wide receivers than the Dolphins.
You think so?
Yeah.
Drake London is better than Jalen Waddle.
What about Hill?
He's better than Hill. Hill is over the hill for wide receivers.
He's a different kind of receiver.
Yeah, Drake London is the type of Mike Evans. He goes up and gets it. He can run routes. He's going to be a star. So it looks like we do have Big Nate back on the line. Nate, are you there with me, my friend?
Am I on the air?
You are on the air now.
Okay. All right, so really quick, because my phone's about to die, but Ken Walker, K9 from Seattle with the Chiefs, good for him. That's a really good move for him. I think he's going to be happy in KC, and I think he's going to do well. But that opens up a spot for us. And I really want to see another Kenny G from Pittsburgh. Come on down, buddy. I love Kenneth Gainwell. I love him. I think he's a great player. And if there's anybody else out there that's listening, I really think that we should take Coleman in the second round from the Huskies.
Kenneth Gainwell, it looks like, just signed a deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Looks like.
He's gone. He's gone, just like your phone's about to be.
Well, what about Algiers? Did Algiers get picked up?
Algiers going to now he's going to.
I think he's with the Cardinals, right?
Oh God, I got to look now.
It's a lot of different. We're having to do this stuff on site right here. So
Cardinals.
They're trying to dethrone me.
Yeah,
Tyler Algier going to the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's on to the Cardinals.
Oh my goodness! All right, well, it looks like we're picking up a running back either in the first or second round.
There you go.
Well, Jeremiah Love will not be available.
No, I understand that.
No, but that also removes the Chiefs drafting him, which I thought he was going to fall right in that spot. So now it's going to be interesting to see who goes after him.
Well, Jonah Coleman in the second round at 64 is right there for the pickings, and he's a lot like Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
He's a lot like Kenneth Walker with his body size. He's actually a lot bigger weight-wise. So,
if that makes you happy, is it necessary to be a Kenneth Walker style, or you just want somebody that's going to be able to run the football? I mean, when Chardonnay comes back, you don't believe he might be the number one?
No, but see, they've always ran in tandem. That's the reason why Kenny got so good. If KC tries to run K9 the way they ran him in Seattle, they're fine. But if they try to make him the premier back and he runs on his own, I mean, they still got number 10. What's his name?
Banchero. Or
Pacheco.
Pacheco, yeah.
Pacheco, yeah. They still got
He's
him,
good.
right?
Yeah, and he's good.
And he's a really good running back.
Yeah.
So if they run those in tandem like they did with Zach and K9, KC's not going to have any problems. Now, Zach, on the other hand, he can be a premier back, but he got injured pretty badly. So I'm a little hesitant to throw him to the mix right away. If you were going to do anything, save him for later on in the year. But, man, the free margin, it's just crazy because Kyle Murray doesn't even get to get signed until 4 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'll call you back Wednesday.
Yeah. The only thing I've seen with the Seahawks is they agreed terms with Josh Jobe. So it's not anybody new coming in, but
Right.
But, I mean, that's all I've seen.
We retained a lot of people, and there's a lot of free agents out there. But we're okay. I think we're going to be just fine. Everybody's gunning for us, and that's just the name of the business. So if we make it to the Super Bowl, great. If we get knocked off, then we just retool and come back. So,
are you scared of Mike Evans of the 49ers?
No.
Okay.
I'm not scared of the 49ers at all. Period.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be.
He's great, but he's old. Their offensive line is getting longer in the tooth. And Purdy, I mean, I'm more hesitant about Mac Jones if he's still on the team than I am Brock Purdy.
Well,
and see, that's a shocker. That's a shocker for Jeffrey because he doesn't believe in Mac Jones. I told him Mac Jones is a possibility because they're asking for a first-round draft pick to get Mac Jones. And so I believe they're asking it high because I think they want to, low-key, keep him because Brock Purdy's had such the injury issues.
He kept him in the mix. I mean, they were fighting for number one in the NFC West, and Mac Jones was at the helm.
And they know everybody's looking for bridge quarterbacks. They don't like this draft class, so his value has shot up. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Where's Geno going, though? That's the big one.
I think he's going out to pasture.
I really don't want him to go back to the Jets just because I hate the Jets so much. But
I think Geno may be done. I hate to say it. He'll end up maybe a backup somewhere for a couple of years. I think he's done starting. I hate to say it because I like the player, but nah.
See, they didn't give him enough support. I mean, they allowed 55 sacks last year, and they didn't give him enough protection, so that's why he threw all those picks. Because he doesn't like the pressure. If you have a designated scheme where he can get out of the pressure, like they did with Sam Darnold this year, then he can pick you apart. He's got a completion percentage that's over 65%, which is better than half the league.
But the Seahawks are a top 5 defense, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are the 49ers a top 10 defense?
It depends on who they have in the annals.
If they're
the draft's going to say a lot.
And then
the draft's going to say a lot.
The Rams are above average on defense.
Oh, Rams are making
very
moves.
Much so. They've got the best ends in the NFC West by far.
6 of your 17 games. It's tough.
Yeah.
And it's hard to repeat.
You're going to have to win 14 to win the championship again.
Yeah. No, you're right. Are you thinking that is there anybody of these guys that are going to new teams that are going to be this year's Sam Darnold?
As far as quarterback?
Yeah.
No.
I agree with that.
Absolutely not. They're going to try, but you got to understand that it was a perfect storm for the Seahawks to do exactly what they did.
I'm not done on Kyler Murray. I think there's.
I want to see where he goes.
And if he goes to Minnesota, that could work. Like that's one. I don't think it's as good as Darnold, but that's the closest to it to me.
It's either that or I mean, these are the two. I think Geno would fit into the Brown system and give Shadir somebody to model himself after. Because if he can do it better than Geno, then he gets to start.
Yeah.
And Geno can give him all those looks that he needs to imitate. Yeah. Now, Kyle Murray, he's got to go to either a warm climate, either Miami, or he's got to go to someplace where there's a dome, and that's the Vikings.
Yep.
Well, it's almost getting to the point that there's only a couple of spots left.
Miami went in on Willis, so it's going to be Minnesota or bust, I think, for Murray.
What about Colts or Giants? I mean, somebody gets hurt and boom, he's in.
Giants, yeah. Colts, definitely. I mean,
Colts is a possibility.
Into the Colts right now.
I don't think the Giants are looking, not for somebody like Murray anyway. I could see the Colts maybe, but his best scenario is Minnesota because that's a team that's not far away.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Right.
Well, Nate, we appreciate it, my friend, as always. And, give us a call on Wednesday. I'm curious to see what you think about the Murray situation.
Paul, you guys have a good keep it locked down on the Blitz, baby.
That's right. Thank you, Nate. We appreciate you, brother.
Bye-bye.
This is interesting looking at this. The Titans apparently are bringing the entire Giants team.
Yes, they are trying to do that. Wandale Robinson's there.
I mean, there's like 5 of them today.
Yeah.
The Saints clearly are bought in on Shuck.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're making skill position moves. They just picked up Noah Fant, who I actually like. Good tight end. Etienne's going there.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Etienne.
Now it's going to make sense.
No, that was an Italian accent.
Now it's going to make sense for Etienne to be there selling etouffee. He's probably going to get picked up by somebody. So now, how do you feel? I wanted to make this a big deal. How do you feel now that you've got a Louisiana name going to be the starting running back for the New Orleans Saints? Does that make you feel excited, especially being a New Orleans Saints fan?
I love it. And the Saints fans love that. Yeah. When the Honey Badger came back home, it was like, oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby Hebert was Central Cast.
So we want to collect all the Louisiana players is how we feel.
So y'all need Chardonnay.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah. Well, they're going to bring Burrow back with the EAUX on the end.
Yeah, exactly. EAUX is going to be definite. So when you
Taysom Hill left though, right? He retired.
I think he's done.
He was a hometown favorite. I mean, he's from Utah, I believe.
They loved him though. He bought in. Anybody that was there with the team that won it all, there's a special place in the hearts of all the New Orleans Saints faithful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for
Cam
sure.
Jordan included.
And he's going to be leaving.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for him, let's look at it real quick. You mentioned it, Mike Evans. I think that was a big deal. Huge. I think for a 3-year deal. So obviously, it's going to be something to see what Shanahan can do with him. Now you're going to be able to rest McCaffrey some. Now you're going to have a target. Is Kittle coming back? Are they going to be able to get, somebody in the draft that can help them with giving these guys some breaks, getting some wins during the regular season to where they don't have to play this grudgeful time where they always get somebody hurt? That's the biggest thing. You can't tell me that making it to the playoffs with half of your defense hurt and then all of your offense except for the running back being able to produce points. That's the deal. That's what I'm talking about. So they're going to have to really rely on the draft to be able to get some skill positions to be able to keep them healthy during the year. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to do something like that.
You're underestimating a team that not only made the playoffs, but beat the Eagles in the first round.
They did, but I'm telling you, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Nate nailed it because I think the reason everybody likes the Niners and thinks they're right there is because they are loaded at the skill positions, and that's where they've leaned in. But he's right. They're getting old on both sides of their line, particularly the offensive line. And it's not sexy to go out and do this, but if they really want to shore up that team and make a run, that's where they've got to make their moves the next couple of days and then in the draft. They've got to shore up that and get younger on that offensive line and get a little bit deeper on defense.
They're going to have to, and I know they got Brian Robinson Jr., but they're going to have to give McCaffrey some rest during the season because there's no way he's going to emulate what he did last year. There's no way. His body will not allow it.
He is the exception to the rule that you say you can only take so many hits. He's taking a lot of hits.
He does, but he always has a little bit of nick. He just seems like he plays through it. But I'm just saying, for them to be ready for the Super Bowl, for them to really make a push, and I think they can, is if they do that.
What's fun to me looking at this is you can tell which teams are signaling they think they're going to make a run this year, which teams are doing a bridge. You're seeing it. The Rams, clearly
they're
think
going all
Matthew
in.
Stafford's got one more year. We're going.
Yeah, going for it.
The
Which
Chiefs
they were.
clearly think Mahomes is coming back ready to go. They're making moves.
Yeah.
They just re-signed Kelsey. They went out and they got Kenneth Walker. They clearly believe now's the time there, too. And then you see some other, like Arizona's clearly looking for a 1 to 2 year bridge in what they're doing. So it's interesting watching the moves today, getting an idea of where the teams think they are.
Yeah, it's so cool. But when we come back, we're going to have in studio brand new Bozeman head football coach Sean Maddox is in the building. You don't want to miss it. Right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 studio line. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Monday. For tonight, light fog and mostly clouds, and a low of 67 with a light breeze out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning, slight fog and some clouds with temps around 73. In the afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a temperature near 75. Moving into Wednesday, about the same with a high of 76 and slightly foggy. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Hi, this is Goga Bitadze of the Orlando Magic, and for big reactions on the Gulf Coast,
There's a new dynasty in the NBA.
it's the Sports Blitz with my boy Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you very much.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest was Simon. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
You are live and local right here at 5 o'clock. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We are pumped up and ready to go. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. We are excited about it. We have the brand new head football coach of the Bozeman Bucks in the building, Coach Sean Maddox. Coach, congratulations, and how are you doing?
Man, I cannot be much happier right now. I've got two great guys sitting to my right that I know are ready to work, and a bunch of other guys that are waiting on me to get up there and get them guys working. Man, I just want to say thank you to Principal Ivan Beach and Athletic Director Andrew Halford for allowing me to take this opportunity. This is my first head coaching gig, and I know for sure that there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but it's not because lack of effort. And these guys right here, just watching them on tape, I never seen lack of effort from them. So they're going to get everything I got, and it's my job to create the relationships with them, to get them to trust me, because they have every reason not to trust anybody right now based on their high school experience. And I think that's something that a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid deserves, and that's what I'm here to give them. So
when you got the call, was it one of those moments where you just it just kind of gave you that feeling in your chest that, because obviously coaching, how many years have you been coaching football?
So I mean, if you just add them up, like so I'll be going into year 7, I believe. So
7 years of being an assistant coach, and then now to get the phone call that not just a high school, but a community. Obviously, the principal just didn't think of your name. You know what I mean? He met with people. They've discussed it. And to be chosen, like, what was the feeling? Were you at home? Were you in your truck? Where were you when you got the call?
Yeah, so my wife coaches softball at Mosley, and so I kind of have my honeydews to do out there and help her. But I got the phone call before practice started, and I think there was a sound of joy at softball practice whenever I got off the phone with. But man, I was at practice and just overall just so ecstatic. And him and Coach Alfred called me, and it didn't take me long for them to give my answer. And I have so many people to thank, and overall, I'm really, really excited about the opportunity.
So you've got these two guys and that are here with us today, and I want you, Coach, to go ahead and introduce them and maybe just tell a little bit about them.
Yeah. So this is Blake Pinkard right here. He's a rising senior, going to be playing offensive line, defensive line for us this upcoming year. Kind of moved around a little bit on up front last year, just watching tape and whatnot. And before I kind of get into the kind of players they are, I've only had great things about the kind of people that they are. And again, them two and we don't have the best relationship right now because we just met each other. I've only heard great things from them. And to me, like, I got to get to know the person before I get to know the athlete. That's really, really important to me. I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to get to know these guys in the coming future. But Blake kind of bounced around the offensive line, was kind of just serviceable. I've heard he handles the ball pretty well. So, I played center myself, so I have high regard for that position. So Blake's going to be a contributor for us this year, and just really, really excited of what he's got coming. And then over there next to you is Hayden Gay. He's going to be a rising senior as well. Quarterback last year, overall, just in the system, was really, really, really comfortable, really, really successful. Had a lot of continuity with the offense, just what they were running last year. It's going to be a little different this year. We're going to spread the ball out and throw it a little bit more. And something that I'm really, really excited about him is his ability to go from one side of the field to the other. You don't really get to see that in high school football. And just the evolution of him. And again, Hayden and I don't know a ton of each other. I've seen him play quite a few snaps on film and just in person. His ability to be a playmaker is kind of what sets him apart, and something I'm extremely excited about.
So guys, I'm going to go with you first since you're sitting beside me. And like I said, get into the mic when you talk. How excited are you to be with Coach Maddox? Obviously coming from Mosley, and they've been successful. Coach Maddox is a big part of the reason behind them being successful. How does that make you feel as a player?
Overall, I'm just really excited to just go out there and play with him, because at Mosley last year he was a part of a very strong offense, and I'm just hoping that we can transfer that to Bozeman and just air it out and just be a strong offense there and just continue what we're doing and just play football.
Knowing that you've got an offensive-minded but an offensive lineman coach coming in, how does that make you feel? Because obviously you want someone that's going to be there for you to understand and teach you technique, because obviously you can't just bum rush everybody. There's got to be technique. There's going to be some times where you're smaller than the person that's in front of you, and having an offensive mind and an offensive line coach coming in to be the head coach, how does that make you feel?
No, I'm definitely excited. Get to learn the offense with them, and I think great things are going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, and that's to me, that's the biggest part of it, with having a special type of relationship with your head coach, knowing that he knows exactly what he's talking about. So, the guy that might be a defensive coach or a, even a quarterback coach, coming in, being able to show that. So with that being said, who are some of the people that's in your life, Coach, that made such the impression for you in your coaching career?
Yeah, so, I've got a ton of people to kind of thank here. And to me, it started whenever I was playing high school football. My head football coach in high school was Jeremy Brown, who's over at Bay High right now. Just a real good people person, someone who genuinely cares about the kid. And I think that's probably one of my biggest jobs that I'm going to focus on the most, is just creating relationships with these kids. And he did a really, really good job of that. I saw how impactful a head football coach can be on young kids' lives, and just growing up and maturing and just realizing the importance of a male figure in people's life. And to me, it's irreplaceable. And he was a good one to have. And I kind of had, going into college, I was like, hey, man, like, I really, really want to be a role model for young men.
Yeah.
But in my coaching side or wherever, I have a huge amount of credit to give to Coach Wooden. Tommy Joe really allowed me to just show me the ins and outs of what being a head football coach looked like. I was in the meetings, I was in the rooms, I was in all the conversations and all that kind of stuff. Just being able to game plan with him, putting our minds together. But ultimately, man, this is a job. This is a great opportunity, and it's not going to be about me at all. It's going to be about two guys right here and their teammates, something that I'm going to put a huge emphasis on.
So as far as the Bozeman family, the Bozeman people, have you had any contact with some of the people in the community? Because obviously being in that area, they're up. Is that 231 or is
Highway 20?
Okay, so Highway 20 is all the way up there. Yeah. Has any of those people reached out to you and talked to you about the job?
Yeah, so multiple people, just kind of, there's a youth football league out there, and then actually one of our middle school coaches that helps kind of run the organization and whatnot in middle school, Justin Bush, had many conversations with him, just trying to meet and greet people. That's the biggest thing, and I actually want to tell people, like, we have something in line coming up. We're just going to do a little meet and greet that way, because I'm a people person. I want to meet everybody. I want to see everybody, and that's just really, really high importance for me. But man, just getting involved, getting to know those people, like, they're just so loving, they're so caring, and if you work hard and you take care of their kids, they're going to give it back to you. So this is something I'm really, really excited for.
Did you think whenever you first started, though, being a coach, that you would get the call so early? Because obviously 7 years, usually people have a longer time to basically feel like, they need to learn more or to do that? Or did you know that, when your shot was going to be there, that you were going to be able to take it?
Yeah, man, my biggest thing is I truly believe that the generation of coaches that are coming up, especially mine, wherever, like, we're going to be super, super successful. And that's just not an ego thing. That's not a big head thing. It's because I believe in my ability to create relationships with young men and ability to say, hold them accountable. Hey, when we show up, we're going to work hard, we're going to compete. All those things that coincide with being a great football program and being a great leader. I just have a different side of being able to relate to them. Just being young. I'm 28, I'll turn 28 next week.
Oh, wow.
So I played high school football 10 years ago. So
wow.
I'm not so far removed from it. And to me, like, I'm a big energy guy. And overall, just super, super, super excited. And the opportunity was going to come. I knew it was going to come. I just didn't know when. But overall, man, I can't be more excited about these guys and the locker room and the overall just being a part of Bozeman. So,
yeah, we're going to go ahead, and I think we've got a caller on the line, and go to the Red 7T's phone line. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
Who is this?
It's Coach Whidden.
Coach Whidden. So I got Coach Maddox here, and obviously that's why you're calling. Do you think this job that Coach Maddox deserved it? And second part of that, do you think he's ready for such a large task to go in as only being his 7th year of coaching?
Oh man, I got nothing but the utmost respect for Coach Maddox and just the way he went about his business. I remember my first day at Mosley. Right after the press conference, I met him for the first time and just said, "Hey, I just graduated from Troy, and I'm willing to do any and everything. I just want to be a part of Mosley football." And Sean lived out every single day. There's no job too big, no job too small, and just a hard worker, a grinder, and was willing to do things that most other coaches, especially his age, weren't willing to do. And he just continued to develop, continued to get better. And again, he's definitely earned this spot. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Bozeman. And he has a bright future as a head football coach. And I know the Bozeman football program is in great hands.
So, Coach Whidden, obviously I've been over there a lot. How important was y'all's run, or I say how important was Coach Maddox for y'all's run this past year that you guys were able to make?
Oh, man, Coach Maddox is a real football coach. I mean, this past year, I don't think probably most people know this about our football team, but to have the season we did, and we started 3 sophomores on the offensive line, and that's just a testament to him to take really young guys and getting them ready to play at a high level, develop those guys, and make sure those guys are prepared, every single week. And that was definitely a hard task, and I don't think anybody ever came and watched us play and be like, "Oh man, the offensive line this, offensive line that." No, that was definitely one of the strengths of our team, and definitely will be one of the strengths of our team moving forward because of the impact that he had on those guys in our football program.
I won't hold you much longer, but I just want to get one last question. If you could stand in front of the community of the Bozeman community, and knowing that you have known him, during those times where, maybe y'all were down, or during those times when y'all were winning, tell us about the person, Sean Maddox, not necessarily the football coach.
Man, Sean is, and one of the biggest compliments that you can give a person is just their hard worker. That, Sean's going to put his energy, his effort, he's going to put his life into this program. He's going to put the kids first in everything that he does, and that everything that he is going to do, he's going to have his best foot forward in trying to develop these guys, not only make them great football players, but great young men. That's definitely part of the process of you want to win football games. We all want to win, but also at the end of this, we want to be producing, productive young men for society. And Sean's definitely going to do that. He has a proven track record of doing that, and just so excited for him and his opportunity. I know he's going to kill it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Coach, you want to say anything to Coach Whidden while we're on here real quick before he has to go?
Man, I hope you had a great orthodontist appointment wherever you're at today. So.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you calling in and being a part of this. We appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
When you look at it, you've got a tall task ahead of you. You've got to get your roster. You got to get, kids dialed in, locked in. When do you go to Bozeman, and when is all this going to be starting?
Yeah, so I went and met with the guys this past week on Friday, and just kind of talked to them, introduced myself, shake their hands, looked them in the eyes, gave them a hug. All those things really mattered to me, and I feel like we spent a lot of time talking about me, and that's great and whatnot, but I don't get to play on Fridays.
Right.
These guys get to play on Fridays, and that's something that's really, really high on my plate is getting those guys ready for those moments, and that's going to start Monday after spring break when we get back. We'll start lifting, we'll start running, but overall we'll start installing too, because spring football is going to be here before we know it. I think a month from when we get back from there, and we need to get outside. We need to start doing some 7-on-7. We need to start doing some agility work, running lineman stuff. Just something that I'm really, really excited for. The working aspect is what gets me the most excited, is because it's really, really hard. Not a lot of 14, 15, 16-year-old kids sign up and say, hey, man, I want to sacrifice some time to get better at something. And to me, like, I just take a ton of pride in that. I take a ton of pride in that, and I'm willing to go to war with these guys, and I hope they get on board and they're willing to go to war with me. So
hearing your coach talk about it, it has to get you kind of excited. Now, what position do you play?
Quarterback.
So you play the quarterback position. So, you're going to be really, a part of what's going on. Obviously, you're going to be on the line. You could be snapping the ball to him. How exciting does all of this sound to you with, because sometimes when you get a new coach, man, there's a lot of worry or anxiety because you don't know who he is, how he's going to fit what y'all are already doing. How exciting does this feel, hearing everything so far and knowing before spring break, that's where, y'all better get ready, because after spring break, it's probably going to get really tough for you guys moving forward.
I'm really excited to hear that we're going to go every day and work and get, I'm most excited about getting the whole team back together, because a bunch of kids have gone off and do their own stuff, and we'll get together randomly on random days, but I'm just ready to get back the whole team together every day and just start building that brotherhood that we had last year back, and just continue going and keep pushing for something bigger, like possibly going to a state championship or something.
Yeah. So knowing that, the weight room is now a big priority, not to say that it wasn't before, but I'm just saying, understanding where he's coming from, how does that get you excited, knowing that you're going to be a leader on this team, being one of the seniors that's going to have to push everybody, because as well as anybody else, to have a good offensive line, you're going to need to get stronger. How does that make you feel, knowing that you got about a week and a half, 2 weeks of doing whatever you're going to do, and now it's going to get really hard going forward in the weight room?
No, definitely. A lot of bonding definitely occurs in the weight room because everybody's struggling, everybody's working. It's really great.
What's your favorite, exercise? Is it the bench? Is it the squat? Is it the...
Probably bench press.
Oh, yeah? Well, what are you benching right now?
Not much.
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. That's where his expertise is going to step in. Coach, we got about a minute left before we take our break. We want to say congratulations, and we'd like to make sure that we stay, abased with everything that's going on. We appreciate you coming in, taking your time out, you and the guys. But if you could say one more thing to the community and let them know that come after spring break, what's to expect for the Bozeman program.
Yeah, we're just going to be getting after it, and it's going to be all this is going to be player-led. At the end of the day, this can be my program, but I always told these guys on Friday, these rising seniors, this is their football team. This can be my program all I want, but guess what? This is their football team, and kind of what they want to do it. At the end of the day, I'll finish with this, is all those kids that I'm going to be going into and expecting high expectations of, again, they have every reason not to trust me.
Right.
Just based on the past 4 years, 3 years. But I'm going to win them over. I'm going to win them over, and I promise you, when we take the field in the fall, we're going to be a group that gets after it, plays hard, never gives up. So that's something I'm really, really excited for, and I'm really, really excited to coach these guys. So.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming in. Bozeman football going in a new direction. Coach Sean Maddox is going to be the one leading us into that direction. So good luck, and we'll definitely be staying connected to you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, Coach.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to dive into a little bit more of the NFL free agency market. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is Touchstone Service. The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
How did you like the Savannah Bananas? From what I've seen, it's a lot of men twerking with their clothes off, shaking their butts in those tight,
They keep their clothes on.
They got their shirts off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they take their shirts off. It looks like, to me, a baseball Magic Mike performance. I'm sorry.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Monday. For tonight, light fog and mostly clouds, and a low of 67 with a light breeze out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning, slight fog and some clouds with temps around 73. In the afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a temperature near 75. Moving into Wednesday, about the same with a high of 76 and slightly foggy. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia, Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise, or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you're on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertisements I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, where the listeners call the plays.
That's a big factor in what Florida State's going to do for the future of this program.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. Don't forget, Wednesday, Auburn right here. Tip-off is at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. Will the Tigers make the tournament? It's all going to depend on this SEC tournament, and if they go out early, it's going to be bad news for Stephen Pearl and the boys. But either way, you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Brian, Todd is off busy doing stuff.
Yes, he is.
And so at this time, we're going to talk about PCB Hobby and what is going on. Obviously, you were down in Orlando.
I was.
You called in, gave us the update. How is it going down there, and what is it like?
No, I get it. And we don't have the captain, so you're going to Gilligan.
I'm going to Gilligan. Yeah. That's right.
It's great.
I guess you'll be Ginger.
No?
That's a visual I didn't need. No, look, it's going great. I went down there. I drove down there last Sunday. Got there Sunday night. Drew and I worked in the shop, and Todd and Sharon on Monday, kind of got everything up on the shelves and prices out, and we were getting shelving and stuff coming in. So it was a day of work, and then I worked with them a little bit Tuesday morning before I had to come back, and they did their first day of soft open on Wednesday. It's been great. Emma, who runs our shop here, went down there. Friday. She went down Friday night, and she's been down there over the weekend, doing a great job there. It's gone really well. It's a good setup. We knew the location was going to be excellent, but they haven't really done a whole lot of advertising yet because you didn't know, because you always have to wait on things. And they had a temporary sign out front, and one thing we figured out was that the tinting on the glass was so strong you couldn't see in the open sign even when it was on. Oh, okay. So we had to cut out the tinting in that one spot.
There you go.
But no, I mean, it's a great setup. Looks, for those of you who've been in our shop here, it looks exactly like our shop here. It's just, we don't have the little kind of extra area over by where the coins are in Panama City, but it's just a straight shot. But Drew's done a great job down there, and Todd and Sharon. Emma, covering in there. It looks really good. They're doing good business. It's going well. So it's been a lot of fun opening up PCB Hobby Orlando.
That's crazy, though, just to think. And, at first I was thinking, how's PCB, obviously going to stay working? But you know what? If you say, whatever Orlando or whatever Atlanta or what, it works.
I thought the same thing, but the deal is that we've built such a name nationally.
That's it.
I mean, heck, internationally. I mean, we ship, everywhere, so with our online streams and things. So, and I agree with that. We built that name. That name carries something. Yeah. And so doing it like that, it might be a little bit awkward for someone just walking down the street and go, what is this, Yeah. PCB, what does that mean? But the people who are in, the collectible space like that, they've probably heard of us because we've developed a name. And so there is some brand recognition there that you wouldn't have initially thought. So, but
yeah, that's good.
And that being said, as much as we want to talk about Orlando, good Lord, spring break has hit because we've been over yesterday. I knew when it was raining, I was like, yep, here we go. And it was a busy day. It was great, but we have people in from everywhere. It's been a lot of fun. It's been real busy, and it's just that time of year. So a lot going on.
Have you already started seeing people bringing in stuff?
Some. I would say the more bent it is to college, the less we'll see of that. Just because, look, you're going to college spring break. You're packing everything you can with 12 ounces, And
that's probably the least thing you're worried about is cards.
So, but there are some. There are some. I imagine as we get late into March and first week or two of April, when it's more the younger, and the families take the spring break here, we get a lot of that when they come in. But we have had some, and we've even had some local people come in looking to sell some things as well, which is good. Because we're trying to bridge this gap to make sure we have enough good stuff because, we are going out. We have a couple of events this weekend. I'm leaving Thursday to go do the Dallas Card Show, which is one of the biggest card shows in the country.
Oh, that's good.
I'm doing that one Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, trying to buy a bunch of stuff, sell a bunch of stuff. Josh and Ethan will be heading to Collecticon in Houston, which is massive, and it covers everything. It covers comics, covers TCGs, covers sports cards and all like that. And normally they would do the Dallas Card Show, but Collecticon's so big, they're going to do it. I'm going to take care of the card show. So hopefully we're going to be able to buy a lot more stuff while we're there as well, but we're going to be busy, and there's so many people there, it might be hard to buy. Sometimes. So we're going to see, but hopefully we have a bunch of new product next week. And then the comic guys, next week, they head down to Orlando for MegaCon. I think it's the biggest. It's not like the most prestigious per se. I think that's still San Diego and then New York, but it's huge, MegaCon. And with us being set up in Orlando now, what an opportunity. So a ton of our comics guys are going down for that. So we're going to have a huge presence at MegaCon.
That'll be cool. Let me ask you this. Obviously, the World Baseball Classic going on. So you're going to start seeing some of the younger guys getting to play for their country or the country that they're associated with. Have you seen any of those cards kind of go up or kind of be, start to be more popular, gain traction maybe?
Yeah, you'll start to see it more as the more important rounds go. What you always see this time of year is, it's the funniest thing. We always laugh about how with football quarterbacks. If they have a great game, everything goes to the moon. If they have a bad game, it all goes in the trash. Yeah, and it's that. The only thing that's worse is spring training of baseball. You get this prospect who goes to spring training and he hits a home run and everybody thinks, oh my God, he's the next Babe Ruth. And it's, pump the brakes a little bit. But no, it happens. Like Connor Griffin stuff is through the roof right now. And anytime anybody shows out at all, especially prospects, it's jumping. Like I said, World Baseball Classic is great for interest. Because otherwise, the start of the baseball season could be a little bit boring. Game 1 of 162.
Right.
This World Baseball Classic gets everybody fired up because those guys take it seriously. Yeah. We're getting to see younger guys like Roman Anthony and those guys go out there and do some stuff. We're getting to see Shohei Ohtani. Skubal was only going to pitch 1 game. He's already thinking about maybe staying and doing another game. So you're getting to see the stars get out there. You're getting to see some young players get out there. Some people representing some different countries. So it's great for baseball. And so the long answer to your question is yes. They do see a bump based on that. And like a couple of years ago, I know Trey Turner was the hero of that. His stuff went way up. So we'll just have to see who the star is going to be this year.
And that's the biggest thing, like knowing that. I will say this, obviously he doesn't have a card yet because he's still in high school. The kid that pitched against the United States team the other night, he was 17 years old, and he is from Atlanta, or he's playing for Brazil, but he lives in Atlanta, and he's a high school pitcher in Atlanta, and he had Aaron Judge hit into a double play.
Here's what's funny. He may actually have cards out. And the reason I say that, he won't have licensed stuff because obviously he hasn't been drafted. But Leaf actually has some NIL guys. Like they had George McIntyre cards when he was still at Brentwood Academy because those guys can, in certain circumstances, sign deals for themselves. So this kid may have some. I don't know. But, just because someone's in high school, I'm just waiting until we sign some kindergartner, to a Leaf
full
deal.
ride.
But I mean, this guy literally might have cards out there. Now, he won't have anything big until he gets drafted, but
it's probably coming because, he hit 93, 94, and he's 17 years old. His dad's a former player, which always helps because now we're starting to see that coming out.
Well, and the American guys who will play on the Team USA teams, so the U17, U15, U13, whatever like that, sometimes they'll get cards in a set called Stars and Stripes that we've had forever. And, Caglianone had stuff out for 2-3 years before. Dylan Cruz, guys who played on Team USA, they will have stuff out sometimes like that is kind of a licensed Team USA product. So, your American guys like that who've been on Team USA, a lot of times will have some stuff even before they get into college.
So go ahead.
When we talking about the international, you were saying there's a lot of interest there. Is it mostly like soccer and then baseball and then maybe basketball?
It's hard to say. Depends on the area. Soccer, obviously, generally is going to carry the most weight internationally. But depending on where you are, there are some pockets of Europe that are crazy basketball. Eastern Europe is crazy basketball. Wow. They're very much into that. Depending on where you are, baseball. If you're down in the Dominican and places like that, that's going to be very baseball heavy. Venezuela, very baseball heavy. Colombia even. But overall, if you're just talking generally internationally, outside of maybe Canada with hockey, maybe Sweden with hockey, soccer is going to be, the way the big 3 sports are here. It's just, it's in their ethos. That's what they know. Now, if there were cricket cards, I'm sure India would be all over that, and Australia. But
do they make highlight cards?
Probably. They make everything.
Because all the part of Florida.
Huge in South Florida. Yeah. There's no doubt of that. But I'm not aware of any highlight cards. Actually, cricket, there probably are some.
You need to get on it.
There you go.
Have some highlight cards.
Yeah, there you go.
So what is coming?
I used to drink highlight beer. That's what I did.
Gross.
That's good stuff.
What's coming up to the market this week?
We're starting to get back into we had a couple of lull weeks because it was so crazy for so long, but Bowman's Best Baseball hits on Wednesday. That's a really fun one because it's what we call a short checklist. So they pare it down. So instead of maybe 300-400 players, you're down to maybe 100-200. So it's bigger names.
Yeah.
And it's some prospects, the Connor Griffins and the Eli Willets and the Ethan Holidays, but it's also Judge, Ohtani, those kind of guys. And it's a great set. Usually very beautiful cards, lots of good autographs. That stuff comes out on Wednesday. It's in shop waiting. I can't sell it till Wednesday, but it is here.
Is that a cheaper?
Mid-tier. It's not going to be as bad as like Bowman Draft or your higher end sets like Topps Tribute or things like that. But it's not a paper set, so it's going to be probably in the $500 range in the hobby boxes but it's usually a lot of autographs. Whereas Bowman maybe 1 or 2. This one's usually like 4. I haven't seen the exact designation this year. It was a beautiful set, and like I said, it's a good mix of prospects and current players, which is great. Also this week, a fun set because you can get in early on these guys. 2025 Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American Basketball. Last year, this was the first stuff that had anything Cooper Flag.
Oh, okay.
And before that, Juju Watkins.
Yep.
So it's really fun. In that you're going to be catching these, they're now college freshmen. It's going to be last year. Yeah, the ones who played in last year's All-American game, but it's the guys and the girls.
Okay.
And so I remember Hannah Hidalgo was in there with Juju and with Cooper Flag and with, Derek Queen and all of these players. They come through the set, and for a while it may be the only things that they have, and they're good. They're Topps Chrome. They're high quality things, and because it's McDonald's All-American, it's a fairly short checklist. So you got a good chance at hitting the top players, and with one and done, you're talking about guys who are going to be in the NBA in less than a year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. The WNBA, they're a little bit longer, but college basketball for women gets as much publicity as WNBA.
Yeah.
And then one more that's kind of fun this week is Topps Disneyland. Not Disney World, Disneyland 70th anniversary. So again, it's kind of the Disney stuff, the tie-in there. This will be huge at our shop in Orlando, but Disney is such a popular thing. Now that Topps has the license for Disney products, they're going to have everything. And, so they'll very much hit the history of Disneyland. Obviously, some of the old characters, some of the old pictures of Disneyland, the different things that made it so special.
Will they try to shock?
A fun set.
Will they shock you with anything in there? Will there be any kind of will Daffy, not Daffy Duck.
Wrong franchise.
Will Donald Duck be a signature?
They very well
something
could be.
Like that.
Very well. They've done that in other products.
So is it characters or characters and rides?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's just highlighting the 70th anniversary of that. And so much of what made Disneyland special was the characters walking around and different things like that. But
it was original.
That's right. And, the old monorail out there, I'm sure that'll be a thing. And
so what's strange to me is Disney World is 55 years in October. So they should be hopefully having something.
That would be great.
They will.
That would be great.
They're not going to.
The last time I went to Disney World, Epcot was not finished.
I know. You told us that.
How old
was that 81?
Yeah, 81 was when I went.
Wow. And he was driving, so
I was not. I'm not that old.
All right.
But yeah, so it's a good busy week. We do pick up a lot more football through the rest of the month because Panini is losing the license at the end of the month. So they're running everything out. Wow. And we did just get a WWE product in last week called Universe that's been very popular, which is good because our WWE fans have been starved for product for a while. So that's been fun. But there's so much stuff out right now. It's really fun. And all different price points. It's a lot of fun. And just in time because this Saturday, Super Saturday, PCB Hobby. So,
and what's the address and the hours of location?
11939 Panama City Beach Parkway, Back Beach Road there, right next to Florida Linen. We're open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, and then noon to 6 on Sunday. Down in Orlando, I can't remember exactly. It's on Turkey Lake. Think about I-4 and Sand Lake Road, we're right across I-4 from the giant wheel in Icon Park. So it's right there. Very similar hours, I believe. I want to say they're going to be 10 to 6 as well.
So when you're open, when you're going down I-4, leaving downtown, you're going west. and it's past Universal, and you take, I'm sure the exit's to the right.
You get off at Sand Lake.
Okay.
Sand Lake. So if you're coming off of the Turnpike, it's maybe 2-3 more miles down I-4. It's not far. You get off at Sand Lake, and instead of turning left going toward I-Drive and Universal,
you take a right.
You take a quick right, and it's immediately right there on Turkey Lake.
Oh, that's
awesome. Well, that is awesome. I know it's going to be an exciting time. So if you have ever been in a wreck, Recommended Collision Center.
Why do you say this when I'm talking about all the driving?
Because that's what really is the key. When you're on interstates and when you're on roads that are needing to have fixes going on, like Back Beach. So everywhere,
like all of Orlando.
So everywhere PCB Hobby is, there's a possibility for wrecks. So if you're in the market for not a wreck, but for your vehicle to get repaired, Recommended Collision Center is the spot for you. Make sure that you go over there and see those guys. Brandon and them will take care of you. They do quality work, free estimates, and if you mention the show, they'll give you a discount. They're on Jinx Avenue, and he is in on Wednesdays, and he'll tell you something this week about what's going to be awesome. So either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we're going to finish up the crazy free agent market that's been going on today. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 7T studio line is now open.
I think this entire audience is on medication.
850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, puts it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Radford.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
That boot store can help you dress in style, from casual Western wear for a night out with family and friends to a special meeting that requires a fashion touch with Western flair. From boots to hats, belts to shirts to jeans and a lot more for the smallest of the largest in name brand Western attire, including Carhartt work clothes. Shop that boot store for the whole family. Open Tuesday through Thursday 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia, 15th Street, Panama City, where God is good all the time. ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results.
Hi, this is Todd from PCB Hobby on Back Beach. Advertising with ESPN Northwest Florida has been a wonderful experience. Their staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. If you want to talk with customers like you never thought possible, reach out to the team at ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
Broadcasting from the heart of the Gulf Coast and streaming to every corner of the map. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball, specifically the SEC tournament and the ACC tournament. Don't forget, we will be having some of those games coming up very soon, starting on Wednesday. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. A big question for this year's free agency market has been a non-free agency person. And I know that Jeffrey's going to be very happy about this one. The NFL knows exactly what they're doing. They're an entertainment business, and they are into making money, and they are into entertaining. Most entertaining team that has been for the last couple of years, if not the last 10 years, has been the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as having Patrick Mahomes. The biggest story of the day for the Chiefs was not signing Super Bowl MVP, but it was that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, that's right, I'm saying both of them, are coming back to football one more season. I know Jeffrey's very excited about seeing all the Swifties and the fans in the seats in Kansas City. How does that make you feel knowing that Travis Kelce's coming back for another season, thinking that there was a possibility that when they get married that they were going to go ahead and call it a retirement party, but not so fast, my friend. He's coming back.
When's the wedding? Where's my invitation?
I don't know, but I know you'll get the invite for sure.
I'm so heartbroken.
Now the question is, though, having Travis Kelce in that part of coming back, not knowing what Patrick Mahomes' status is going to be after having the injury, do you think it's going to be a big deal for him to be coming back? And do you think that this is Kansas City's type of season that they're saying, hey, we're going to throw everything we got into this year and try to get us one more, because obviously the band is starting to have some break off, obviously?
I mean, I think it does say that they believe Mahomes is going to come back and we're going to capitalize on one of the best players in NFL history while we can. But I think it's good to have a guy like Kelce coming back when maybe the first couple of games, I don't know when Mahomes actually does come back.
Right.
So the more familiar faces you can have around during that, the better. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. I mean, Minshew left. He's going to Arizona. So I don't know what they're going to do there yet. That will be very interesting to see. Could you imagine Kyler Murray backing up Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, wow. That would be crazy.
Would that be insane?
That would be nuts.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, do you think Kyler Murray would do what Tua did and take come into a place where there's already kind of an established quarterback? Or do you think Kirk Cousins is lining up to go to Kansas City?
Cousins would make sense.
I like the Kyler Murray story. I like that.
It'd be fun. I mean, similar styles.
But the thing is about the Kenneth Walker III Super Bowl MVP.
That's right.
Going to Kansas City is a big splash, but they've got to do other things than just that. They came in third place this last year. I know the injury. You can tell me all about that. But this is a second biggest splash, change of venue behind Max Crosby, because that's the biggest splash right there.
That's true.
Are the Ravens going to go back to the playoffs? I think yes, because they weren't there this year.
Do you think that, so you really believe that adding the Super Bowl MVP to Kansas City is probably the biggest move of the day? Because Crosby was last week.
Oh, absolutely.
So you think that, because that's where I was going next.
Yeah.
Where did y'all think the biggest story of
Max Crosby?
Single move, I agree. Crosby overall for sure. Walker.
See, I'm not a big Walker guy.
Super Bowl MVP. That's all you got to say.
But
one game.
You take a guy like that and put him into the Chiefs system. It's exciting. The bigger move probably in terms of key player would be Linderbaum, but he's going to the Raiders and he's a center. So it's not that exciting.
Not an exciting spot.
Right. But I tell you what, the Raiders are doing, I mean, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, Eric Stokes, what they're doing to their defense is pretty interesting. They're spending some money today.
They're buying Georgia players.
Let me give you this.
Keep them getting in
this
trouble.
is what the Raiders have spent today for length of contract. Linderbaum, 3 years, $81 million. Walker, 3 years, $40.5 million. Dean, 3 years, $36 million. Naylor, 3 years, $35 million. Quiddy Pay, 3 years, $48 million. Stokes, 3 years, $30 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and the thing is,
Vegas, baby.
They've got the first round draft pick, which everybody still is saying they're going with Mendoza. Now it makes sense with what they're doing. They're not trying to build for the future. They're trying to build a defense so that they don't have to rely on the offense to score so much.
And you guys know this. We talk about it all the time. In today's NFL, there are two ways to do this. Mm-hmm. You get you the big experience, big money quarterback, and then you augment that with young skill position players, or you're getting Mendoza, who is an older, which is good, got experience, but he's going to be on a rookie deal for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's how you can go out and spend this kind of money.
Yeah.
Like that, because they know they're going to lock down. This tells me 100% they're going Mendoza.
Yeah, that's me too. That's where I was. Whenever they start building the defense with free agents, and then they grab some free agent wide receivers, come in.
Look at them. They're all 3-year deals.
Yeah, so they know that they're going to keep. Yeah, that they're going Mendoza. That's a definite. We thought maybe there was a possibility that they would trade to get more, but not anymore. Now let me ask you this: if Kyler Murray goes to the Jets, is he signing his own death sentence?
Yes, he is.
Is he gone?
Yes, I hate the Jets.
After it's over,
and it won't have anything to do with him. It's just the Jets' curse, man.
Because you know as well as I do. Okay, Eli went to the New York market. He turned down San Diego. Don't forget who Arch is named after, his grandpa who made the deal for Eli. So there's no possible way that the Jets really believe that Arch Manning is going to fall in their lap next year and go there. I don't believe at all. So they've got to grab somebody, and I believe the next stab is going to be Kyler Murray. That's why I would love to see him go to Minnesota. I would think he would do better in Minnesota. Kyler, if you're listening, don't do it. Don't go with the Jets. Just I don't care if they offer you the half of New York. Don't go to the Jets, because it's going to end your career, and you and Justin Fields are just going to rotate whoever gets hurt the worst.
But he could be the best since Chad Pennington.
I was going to say,
Mark comeback player of the year.
Mark Sanchez.
The only guys who make it with the Jets are kind of those fringe, I mean, Pennington at least was a name. He was the one that kind of did. Sanchez was kind of he played at USC, but it was kind of like, I don't know. Fitzpatrick. It's guys like that somehow work out with the Jets. Kind of quirky, don't think that much about them kind of guy. You bring in the heralded names, they never do anything with the Jets. And it's not just the New York market, because guys can do it with the Giants. It's the Jets. It's something about
Everybody's going to wonder where Kirk Cousins goes. So with Kirk Cousins, I could see him going and making the trip back to Minnesota. I could see him going to,
Cousins is either
Kansas City.
He's either a bridge, which we're running out of teams that need bridge quarterbacks, or he's an experienced backup. That's why Kansas City kind of makes sense. In a weird way. I mean, obviously he's not a Mahomes-like player, but he's a guy with enough experience that you can just pass him the ball if you need to. I don't know who's left for a bridge quarterback. You have the Jets still out there. Arizona looks like that's what they're doing with Minshew.
Yeah, they're just going
to. Miami's bringing Willis down, so you don't have that. Atlanta just picked up Tua if they need, so you don't have that. I mean, Tennessee's got Cam Ward. They're just looking for a backup, and they just signed Mitch Trubisky. Yay.
Yeah, so that lets you know that Will Levis is going to be on the market. Now, I get it that he's not a big name.
Who's left that needs a bridge?
Did Daniel Jones sign with the Colts?
Yet. No. So the deal with Jones is that he and his camp believe he's worth $50 million, and the Colts thought he was worth $32 million.
The Browns could need
for how many years?
3.
The Browns could need a bridge, but they have 30 quarterbacks. I mean, I'm trying to think who's
Sean Watson coming back.
I mean, who's left other than maybe? I don't think Minnesota's looking for a bridge. I think they're looking for a starter.
I think if Mac Jones's value were to be put back down and not asking for a first-round draft pick, I think Minnesota would jump in. If they could get him for like a second-round pick and some other person, I think he would be the perfect fit for
Minnesota. I go all in on Murray.
Yeah.
I really do.
Could this be the last year for Bryce Young being a starter?
No, he did so good last year. Took them to the playoffs and almost beat they almost
Rams.
won. They almost beat the Rams.
They looked good. They didn't almost beat them, but they looked good. They were close. They were in the game.
They were in the game until the fourth quarter.
Don't be
halfway.
surprised if the Rams sneak up and get one of these draft quarterbacks in like the third or fourth. Because you've got a year, maybe two, of Stafford. And
I think he'll go 2 more years, but I think next year is going to be their year because there's so many. I think they could get in line, especially.
It depends, though. I mean, it depends how it falls. I mean, if a guy like Simpson is number 2 on everybody's board, and somehow he drops to the late third, maybe a value play.
So, do y'all both agree that the Cowboys would draft a quarterback next year?
Yes.
next year. Yeah. They might even pick up one of these free agents this year.
I think
it's just a backup.
I think they go next year. We saw Snoop Huntley or Tyler Huntley, however you want to say it. He signed back with Baltimore.
I could see a Geno Smith being a backup in Dallas.
Yeah, he can go somewhere like there. Or, I know that Nate said earlier about the Browns. I will say this, though. The Browns have kind of pushed forward with Shadur being the guy coming into camp.
Bring back Deshaun.
I know Deshaun Watson is still there, but it's still seeming like they're still pushing it away. I will say this. I believe the big market of wanting this quarterback to be something great is, to me, going to be the biggest letdown of the whole day. And that is, I don't think the Dolphins and Malik Willis is going to be a big deal. I just think I think he's going to be over his skis. I don't think he's going to do well. I don't think they're going to do well.
I just can't believe they gave him that much guaranteed money. I mean, it's not insane, but
so this is the thing for me, for him. Let me tell you this real quick.
Their dead cap hit is the worst in NFL. It's worse than Russell Wilson.
It's the worst. But let me say this. With LaFleur's brother being the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, went to Arizona, and he did not even mention getting Malik Willis. Yeah. That lets you know something about Malik Willis that he didn't like, because he could have signed him at Arizona. So that's why I think Malik Willis going to the Dolphins, you can sign him for 3 years. They're going to still be in the same spot as they were with Tua, except for less money.
They're going to be 7-10 again.
Yeah, unfortunately. Big deal for the Jaguars, real quick, for losing Etienne, or you think they're going to be okay?
As much as I like him, he's replaceable.
Yeah.
So
are running backs becoming plug and play?
What do you mean becoming?
I think so.
They have been.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we done it. We finished the day. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
SEC champion Florida Gators are playing hot down the stretch.
Plan for an open three. Bang, got it. What a start here for Florida.
And are poised to defend their national championship.
For a game winner, a three ball, yeah!